we've opened up a can of worms because once we started into Alzheimer's, then we got into Parkinson's. Now we have peripheral neuropathy. We have Huntington's. We have MS. We have questions about IBS or leaky gut syndrome. We have lupus. Let's see what else. MS, lupus thing, Lyme disease. So listen, I don't expect that you'll be able to answer every one of these, but the point that's been made many times over by yourself and Dr. Rajan is that what does it hurt to have this in your body? It can't. There are no contraindications. There are no cross reactions with any medications that anybody may be taking. So at the least, you're taking in a food that's healthy that you're telling us is missing from most foods because of the reduction in the environmental status of agriculture and plant growth, both from the food, the nutrients for the food, the air, and the water that's being put on farms. So how does it hurt? It doesn't hurt at all. So for anybody that's asking the question, would this benefit from somebody else? Try it. Put somebody on for a month, 2 months, 3 months, give it a fair trial and see if some symptoms improve. Would you agree with that?
I would. We have made certain that these extracts, I am, as a physiologist, are only interested in the molecule itself. It's just like vitamin C. I don't care if it comes from rose hips or it comes from citrus or acerola or acai. Sure. I'm interested in the molecule. So I'm interested in the myristicin, chlorogenic acid, and the quercetin. But we have made certain that we have extracted these from food sources. So it's just coming right out of food. Nothing is synthetic. We have just concentrated these three molecules, and there are no contraindications whatsoever. There's no drug interactions. And I challenge anybody to do that. If you're diabetic, you'll notice a change in your blood chemistry, your glucose numbers, in just about 4 days. And that's another thing that has been asked of me. If you have never taken Emulin and you take it along with food, it will reduce the amount of available calories in that food because it inhibits the conversion of starch into sugar, amylase. It inhibits amylase, and it inhibits glucose transporter 2, which is the transport from the gut into the bloodstream. So if you take it with food or just ahead, doesn't matter, just ahead of it or right with the food, and you've never been on it, it will inhibit that. If you have been on Emulin, you've been taking it for like a week, you've already built up enough in your body that it's even present in your saliva. So it doesn't matter when you take it. So if you're interested in an immediate response and you've never been on it, yes, take it with food or just before the food. But after you had it about a week, because the half-life is about 4 days, if you've just, it builds up in your body, and so there you can take it whenever you want. You can take, we're recommending currently 750 milligrams a day. You can take it all at once or twice or whatever you want to do. You know, myself personally, it's my habit. I go out and exercise in the morning. I come in, and then I do kind of a shake. I take a couple of capsules of Emulin. I throw them in there. I throw in a banana. I put in some almond milk, a couple other things, glucosamine, and then I drink it once in the morning. That's it for me. So it doesn't matter when you really take it if you've been on it a few days. But immediately, if you've never been on it, you'll see you should take it with meals.
Okay. Dr. Nelson, are you still with us, or did you have to leave? I think he had to leave. How do you feel? It's it's getting pretty close to an hour and a half. And Jay, are we still okay? We're still okay.
Well, anyone anyone can email me questions, and I'll try to get back to them within a week. I can't, won't be immediate, but I'll get through them. If anybody can email me questions.
Should I
and
put
for those people,
should I put your email address out?
yeah, you can go ahead and do
that. Can I ask a question real quick? Is it possible for us to just take all those questions so we can actually put it in a form of which that, we can sort of like aggregate the questions and then publish it to our entire group? Then it'll be more useful as opposed to the onesie twosie thing. It's probably be easier on the doctor as well.
As an FAQ, frequently asked questions.
Yeah. If we just aggregate the questions and then publish it as as something, then it will be a resource.
Yeah, exactly. I'll work on that with Dr. Ahrens. Okay.
And I don't care how technical they are. I never know how technical to go in these discussions. But, we have studied this so much, we actually understand the docking characteristics of these molecules with the respective enzymes. We understand the actual docking geometry. So when I say it inhibits glucose transporter 2, I know exactly where it's working, what part of glucose transporter 2, why, how the signal comes out of the adrenal cortex, and we also have a PowerPoint that I gave in Vancouver that we can make available to anyone that goes through each one of these steps.
I just received it from the master distributor yesterday.
Okay. So and that even shows that through glucose transporter 4 that it translocated to the cell membrane. So I mean, this is no hocus pocus science here. We understand every single electron step here.
We have the last question that's come in so far has to do with the sourcing of the ingredients and therefore the farms on which the plants are grown, from which you source the 3 active ingredients. Does Galen or did you as ATM have any control over the growing conditions, whether they were organic or whether that sort of question? Did you have any, or did Galen have any control over the quality of the environment that they're grown in?
Okay, as a physiologist who controls the intellectual property and license it to Holista and Galen, I don't even care where this stuff comes from. However, I know that Galen has complete control over the source, and I don't know if they do, but they absolutely can specify that it's organic. And I know the sources that they are currently getting them from, and they are organic, and they are at the highest level of scrutiny. They source them from all over the world, as you can imagine, where they're looking for the ones that are most economical. But as an example, we originally got some of the products from bayberry bark, which is not a food source, but it's a good source of myristogen. And because of concerns that it wasn't a real food, we switched to muscadine grapes as a source of this molecule. And we actually had to came up with the extraction process to get that out of muscadine grapes. So yes, there is 100% control, but that is under the control of Galen, not me.
Okay. All right. I don't know how far to go with this. I keep thinking that we're going too long. Maybe it's just me. We have a question about chemo and for cancer. Is it possible to take Emulin? You had answered that question that I had given you before, and either you or Dr. Eugène had said that while they're on chemo, they probably should not be on Emulin. Is that still correct?
Yeah, that's correct, because it's an anti-inflammatory agent. So it actually, if you take enough Emulin, it will migrate to your skin and protect you from sunburn. In radiation, you are trying to kill cancer cells with radiation, and the Emulin could actually come in there and protect them from being damaged from radiation. So I would not take Emulin while I was on a course of radiation. But outside of being specifically on that radiation treatment, yes, you should take it.
Okay. Somebody's even asked, would it be safe for someone with an aneurysm? Well, that person needs to be in a hospital if they have an aneurysm. They don't need to be taking Emulin right now. Would you agree with that?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. Is anybody putting up maybe, the question is an impact on the kidneys. Obviously for elimination, any adverse impact on kidneys at all?
No, not at all. This is not like a high protein diet where you're trying to work your kidneys to death to try to balance the charge of the bloodstream. No, there's no effect whatsoever. You cannot take, and there's no known problem. You cannot overdose. It does not overwork your kidneys. Okay. But the excess Emulin is eliminated either through the skin, it migrates to the skin, or else it is eliminated through the kidneys. But there's no known effect on the kidneys themselves. It's not nearly like having too much protein in your bloodstream.
Okay, we're just at the end of our recording time, so there's just one more question that we're going to give you, and that somebody's about to take an allergy patch test. Should she stop her Emulin?
I would stop it because Emulin should reduce that allergic response.
Okay.
And so they may not be able to uncover what she's allergic to.
Okay.
And as I said, the half-life is about 4 days. So if you're going to undergo a treatment like that and you really want to know what you were allergic to, you shouldn't take Emulin because you might end up with no response.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I would say to someone, if you have allergies, take the Emulin, you'll probably be okay.
Okay, folks, you've been so generous with your time, Dr. Ahrens, and also all our guests. We've maintained 90 through an hour and a half, which is incredible. What I'll encourage people to do is we will post this recording just as soon as Jay gets it processed, and then in the various Facebook groups, we will publish your email address so that people can ask you directly their questions. And I don't know, probably anytime you send a response, maybe also copy me in and I'll aggregate them and feed them to Jay for a frequently asked question synopsis, okay?
Yes, that's what we'll do. I encourage people, though, to never talk about Emulin as something that cures diseases. We're not trying to be a drug.
Exactly.
This is just something your body needs and returns you to normal, and your body itself can take care of its problems. Everybody, though, needs it to be able to do that.